I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. We're back to another review. This is another paid request, this time from Mr. Majestic. It is for Rolling Thunder 1977. Now, this is a film that I might have seen a long time ago, but it was only once. I've heard quite a bit about it. I know Quentin Tarantino's a big fan. In fact, he named one of his production companies after the film. I think it was a production company that dealt with cult films and such when they went to DVD. Now, Rolling Thunder stars William Devane, which is an actor people might not know who he is nowadays. He's been in some stuff from time to time back in the day. He was in the Paul Verhoeven film Hollow Man. This is one of the few times he got the star in a movie. You also have Tommy Lee Jones in the film. It's directed by John Flynn, which I didn't realize until I looked it up. I went, oh, okay, cool. That's the same guy that did Lock Up with Sylvester Stallone. Very underrated film. Out for Justice, my favorite Steven Seagal film. He did, I believe, Bestseller, which is a pretty decent James Woods, Brian Dennehy flick. And this is a revenge movie. That's really what it is a revenge film. Where William Devane and Tommy Lee Jones, they've come back from Vietnam. They were POWs. They get a hero's welcome. Devane is with his wife and his son, but his wife is seeing another person. His son doesn't really remember who he is. So he's at home, but he's trying to ease back in, at least to have a connection with his son. There's the memories he has, POW, you tell he's got a PTSD type of thing going on, where he's very emotionally distant. Very emotionally distant. And, you know, not a bad guy, not an awful guy, just a little out of it. He's given these silver, was it $2,000 worth of silver dollars? Which it is nowadays, like, what? Only $2,000? But that was a lot more back then. And you get a little bit into what happened when he was a POW, like he was tortured, where they put his arms behind his back and lift his arms. And the one guy's like, well, how did you even get through it? I learned to love it. The rope that they used to bend my arms backward, learn to love the rope. If you learn to love it, they can't beat you. And then there's this one girl he knew back in the day, Linda, and she's trying to connect with him, but again, he's so just emotionally distant and off-kilter that he, even though his wife pretty much left him, she's with another guy, he can't really connect. But again, he wants to connect with his son, and then one day these people go in and rob him of the silver dollars. They put his hand in a garbage disposal. You don't see anything. Apparently, originally you did. It was a lot gorier. But it wasn't the MPAA that told them to take it out. They thought it was going to happen. Like, you see the hand go in, the garbage disposal, cut it up. No. Apparently it was because of test screenings, where the test screening audience went, oh my god, and they fainted, and it's like, oh, this is too much, you gotta cut it out. Like, if the MPA is fine with it, keep it in. But no. I mean, you still get the idea just from... maybe some people would say that's better because you do imagine it, picture it in your mind, what it is. And instead what they do is they put images of when he was a POW as that's happening. And they kill his wife and son, and he's in a hospital, and he now has a hook, he's got a shotgun, and he wants revenge. So he gets this girl Linda, they take her to Mexico, go into these places, people harass her, then William Devane comes in to interrogate. She's like, what the fuck, you using me? But then she sticks with him. And you can tell that he's slowly forming a little bit of a connection. Give a little bit of his history. There's a nice poignant moment where he's listening to a song. He's like, I remember that song from when I was alive. And she's like, when you're alive, what are you talking about? You get the idea that William Devane, after what happened in Vietnam, being a POW for like 7 years or so, kind of killed a part of his soul. That's what he meant. It killed a part of his soul. That's why, even though his family died, he's not emotionally distraught. Paul Schrader wrote the film. He worked on Taxi Driver, among others. Granted, there's a lot of other movies that you're trying to look between the lines. I thought this did a decent enough job for me to tell enough of this guy without giving you tons of exposition. So I get where this guy's coming from and not that he's just a nutcase. Plus, I thought William Devane played the role fairly well. I want to say he's a good actor. He just didn't get used a whole lot. I think at one point the studio and such thought he would be a big star. I think they offered it to Chris Christopherson, but he said no. Or something else happened. But yeah, William Devane, I thought he did a good job. He didn't, at least he didn't get to do a whole lot. I know he was in this film, The Dark. Yeah, it was called The Dark. And again, he's been in a few others. But not like a whole lot where he'd have to be the main star of the movie. Tommy Lee Jones, I'm a big fan of. I love him in a lot of movies. Volcano, Men in Black, The Fugitive, even U.S. Marshals. He's in the film for the beginning of the film, and then he's for the third act. I wish he was in the film more. Probably would have been interesting if he played the lead. Nothing against William Devane, but Tommy Lee Jones, he could have played the lead fairly well. Because he was in another film years later called The Park Is Mine. It was a pretty decent, bit of an underrated flick where Tommy Lee Jones is this vet who's been pushed around and he takes over a park. And, like, this park is mine and I want you to listen to me, how you treat the veterans. Yeah, it's a pretty decent flick. Different in tone in this, but still fairly good film. When it's in the middle portion with him and the Linda girl and they're going around Mexico, it's not as interesting compared to the beginning and the end. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, there's some nice moments. He hooks a guy in the hand, or he gets in this fight in a bar and he hooks someone in the crotch. And then you get a little bit more of his psyche. What's wrong with you? You're driving too slow. And he's not all there. But again, he's slowly connecting with Linda, but then knows that it ain't going to work out. It just ain't going to work out, so that leaves her some money and nice gesture. He covers her in the motel and ciao, adios, muchacha. I don't think you needed this whole thing where this other guy, Cliff, I believe the character's name was, he knew William Devane. He goes looking for him, doesn't find him, finds some other bad guys who then chase him and shoot him. And this goes on for like, it feels like 10 minutes. Probably not that long, but it, I say it was, I don't think you needed it because it's not like William Devane ever finds out that that guy's been killed, or it doesn't really make the bad guys in a different situation, doesn't make the good guy in a different situation, or extra motivation, or it's not like that was a character that was extremely essential, like, oh, I really care. It just takes a background, like one of the characters who I think was with his wife. But I just, okay, let me put it this way. If you edited it out, it would not make any difference. And that's what I mean why it didn't feel essential. Like, if you edited that whole sequence out, I don't think a lot of people would give a shit or care. What about that Cliff character? No, we're on William Devane's journey. And then when he gets Townley Jones, and Townley Jones like, I'll just go get my deer. Let's go clean him up. Okay, we're on that bit of journey. I mean, if you don't take that, takes a bit of time with Townley Jones and his life. And him trying to deal with home life. While William Devane, well, I would rather see more of Townley Jones than this Cliff guy. That's just me. I don't care about Cliff. I don't give a shit. Okay, he died. I don't care. That whole bit, like I said, if you want that running time, put on Townley Jones or just cut it out. Okay, so, again, the middle portion wasn't the most interesting to me. Like the beginning and the ending, though, the ending is very satisfying. Very satisfying when they both go in, got their shotguns, and they're just tearing house at this whorehouse. Shooting people in the stomach. I think William Devane blows a guy's hand up. The guy who fucked up his hand, he uses a shotgun. Like a very satisfying, violent finale. And when it's over, it's over. It doesn't keep going for another 10 minutes of bullshit. When it's done, it's done. Movie's over. And like I said, the ending was worth it. For me. Speak for myself. The ending was worth it. You know, before then, it had a decent score and mood and atmosphere where you tell, you know, this is not for shits and giggles. This is a serious endeavor. I think they did a nice job building it up. They did a nice job establishing William Devane's psyche, but not going too overblown so he becomes unlikable. Because that's a fear when you try to do that. You become unlikable. Like, he doesn't ever hurt his kid, never yells at his kid, treats him great. Even the wife he doesn't treat badly, even though she left him. But he's not like yelling, screaming. He doesn't do that. I thought that was the right decision because I want to stick around, make it work, get to know my son more. So you still feel for him and what happened. Tommy Lee Jones is always a plus to have him in a movie. He's one of my favorite actors. Yeah, I mean, he's up there. And this is very early on. I mean, this is 1977. This is very early on in his career. I said the finale was entertaining. I rather enjoyed that. The middle portion, like I said, I wish there was some things either fixed up or went a bit faster, or again, more of Tommy Lee Jones' character to see. Like, sorry, Cliff. I'm sorry you died, Cliff. I don't really give a fuck about you, Cliff. I think that was the character's name. If it wasn't, then I'm wrong. But overall, yeah, I liked Rolling Thunder. It's not a film I love. It's not a film I think I probably don't love as much as Tarantino. There's other revenge movies I enjoy more. Where they're more fun, over the top, like Death Wish 3, or more intense, like... Now I'm drawing a blank on revenge films. I'm sure there's a list of revenge films. I'm like, yeah. But this is a pretty decent flick. You know, I did enjoy it. it's worth a watch at the very least because of its bit of history. I don't know if you say it was known as an exploitation film or a drive-in theater type of film. But it's pretty decent, straightforward, for the most part, revenge movie. Doesn't have a bullshit ending. Oh yeah, overall I liked it. So, with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.